Hi, I'm Chloé from Floramama, the author of The Flower Farm, the book and the online course. Today I'm super stoked to be at the Old Mill with Angie and we'll be discussing how to add a flower patch to your market garden. Don't force yourself to grow something that you don't like. It will be the crop that's always weedy, that you don't take care of. So go with your taste. For harvest, the thing that's a lot different is that we always harvest in water. We use the exact same tools for weeding, for bed prep. We never cut the same day that we sell. Flowers need to be rehydrated after being cut. It's quite a shock for them. It's all about beauty. People buy them because they just want to look at them. They don't need them. So, Angie, tell me what's here, what we are experiencing here, and why do you want to add more flowers into your beautiful gardens?
Well, here at Old Mill, we are a farm that produces for a restaurant. So we grow vegetables year-round, and as well as herbs and edible flowers. And our goal is really to increase the amount of flowers that we have available, whether it be for our market or for the tables for decoration or for the plates.
Nice.
So in terms of crop planning, how would you integrate flower production into your crop plan?
That's a nice question because flower farming is really a whole. Like it's not a subculture, subcrop. You have to take it like as a whole and really take time to plan it, to grow it well, and to sell it. So I'm glad you asked because you need to take time to really plan what you'll have in your season. Just as like people with CSAs plan what they'll have in each basket. Like you plan with your chefs what's going to be available, maybe a bit less in advance, but you kind of have an idea, I think. So with flowers, it's the same thing. And the strategy is you have to know the days to maturity. So you do the same exercise as the vegetables and you go from the date that you want to harvest and you go backwards in your calendar to know which date you have to sow it. So it's super simple, but just the same big exercise at first. The first year is always the biggest one. After it gets a lot easier and you'll know what you're gonna have and when. So again, if you use heirloom, if you use spreadsheets, pen and paper, you have to write down everything and plan ahead. What do you want every week? So you want to plan a succession of things, exactly as like the vegetables. You don't want all your blooms in only 2 weeks and then have nothing.
Right.
So you really have to go week by week. What do I want to put? In flowers, there's mainly 3 categories. There's the focal flowers, like the bigger ones that you see normally the most in a bouquet, but they also have the biggest value. So these are like your tomatoes.
Yes.
And then you have like secondary flowers that gonna add some textures, colors to the bouquet. They have less value, but normally they produce a lot. Okay. That means also a lot of time to harvest. Big producers, they take a lot of time to harvest. And then after you have foliage. Sometimes you can skip foliage if you choose focal flowers that have already a lot of foliage on them, but you can grow also a lot of foliage. It's always good to add foliage to your bouquet because it makes it bigger, takes a lot of place, add volumes, and it's just so natural the look that it gives to a bouquet. So mainly the planification looks a lot like in vegetables, but you have to take in order those 3 categories of flowers and make sure you're going to be able to do a bouquet. You don't have only foliage, only secondary flowers, though it would work, but you'll have to put a lot of flowers to have the amount that you need for a bouquet.
Right.
So for us at Floramama, we focus mainly on focal flowers that have foliage on them. So we don't need a lot of stems to get the price per bouquet.
Right.
But again, if you only want to grow cosmos, it's possible. You'll just spend a lot of time harvesting. You need a lot of stems to get the price per bouquet. And maybe you're gonna get, a bit tired of cosmos. There's vase life also that can come into like the planning thing. But it's really also about what you like. So plant some flowers that you like, that you're gonna like to see, to harvest, and to sell. So don't force yourself to grow something that you don't like. It will be the crop that's always weedy, that you don't take care of. So go with your taste, really. And one other thing, when you do the planification, stick to a color palette. Maybe it's you like the primary colors in your life. That's it. Go for that, because you'll sell it way better than if you don't like the pastel colors, soft tones, and you say, well, Instagram is like full of that. I should do that.
Right.
Don't do it. If it's not you, don't do it. Just do something that you like, but stick to a few colors and go like around those colors in softer tones or more deep tones.
Okay.
That's easier when you plan this ahead. You'll know that you have like colors that goes together well, and it'll be easier for you to make your bouquet.
Should I make a separate flower patch, or should I integrate it amongst vegetables?
Some flowers, I don't think there's only one answer to that question. I think every farm is really different in their systems, and I don't see a clear reason why you would not have like a bed of cosmos between your beds of kale, for instance. Some flowers do take a lot of space in height, like the cosmos. We do like stagger them to keep them straight, but other than that, there's like no super clear reason why not to do it. The only thing I would recommend is to do it maybe separate, only for the reason that it's more obvious when you look. You're like, this is my flower patch, what do I have to do? And you're not like searching in between the garden to see what's to be done.
So more for organization and also ease of harvesting.
Sure, and we also put support nettings in a lot of the crops, so that might be easier to manage the material, gathering the material in one place
and installing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my first choice would be separated.
Okay.
And then I don't think it's a big issue to incorporate it if you cannot separate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I, for instance, wanted to plant snapdragons here, what would be the procedure for bed prep, growing techniques compared to a vegetable, for instance?
Yeah. So the great thing about flowers, in my way of doing them, like based on small scale intensive growing, is that it's really almost like growing vegetables. So we use the exact same tools for weeding, for bed prep, not for harvesting, but all the soil preparation, the weeding, all of that is the same tools. So that's perfect. And then, so bed preparation would be exactly the same. So we often do either mechanized or non-mechanized. So mechanized would be fertilizing, and then BCS with the power harrow, and then irrigate and transplant. And non-mechanized would be either broad fork if we need, fertilize, wheel hoe, and then rake, mark the rows, and then transplant, irrigate, transplant. So I think it's like music to your ears.
Yes.
Yeah, so I learned at the Grelinet, so it's the same techniques that are used here and in many market gardens. So it's really easy to add flowers regarding that side. So for snapdragon, it would be exactly the same thing, except in many flower varieties we use support nettings. So some flowers, they grow really, really tall, and the flower heads are so big that sometimes the weight of the flowers makes the stem bend, and then it's like it's finished all crooked or curved. A little bit of curve is really nice because it's more natural looking, but a lot of curve is really like 90 degree is a no. So we use metal stakes. We put in the ground on the sides of the bed, and then we put the support netting that is like plastic. It's like squares,
like the 4x4.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Horizontally, so it's super tensed with the stakes to be really hard on keeping them straight. So that we install when the crop is already quite high, just before they get like a little bit floppy. Okay. Because we have the time to weed if needed before. So always weed one last time before install the support netting, because you cannot pass with the hoe after. Right. So that's the only thing. Sometimes we put like vertical netting also for sweet peas, for example. But really in growing techniques, it's the only thing that we add. So we use also row covers, insect nettings, the same irrigation system. So it's really easy for that.
Really easy to implement with vegetables.
Yeah. Awesome. Same technique, so you don't have to learn a lot of things that different. Right. Just like really the needs per variety.
Okay. So another question I had was, how do you calculate how much profitability you're going to have per bed? I can estimate what I'll receive, the yield, what I'll receive from a bed of tomatoes or eggplant, but how do you do that for flowers?
Exactly the same way as the first one did it for vegetables. So it's kind of more new, the flower farming into the world. But we set up like some charts that we have now, prices per stems and stems per plant. So of course, if you don't have any knowledge of that, I would highly recommend you to go to another flower farm and ask for a price list. So the very important things with the vegetable growers is that they sometimes think that I'm just gonna do like a few flowers, it's gonna be nice, and I'll just sell them for a few bucks. But as a flower farmer, if I came to the farmer's market with some lettuce, because I just can grow them and sell them for a few bucks, I mean, if I sell them 50 cents and you're there with your beautiful lettuces at like $2 each, you'll be mad because there's a whole system already in place and everybody follows that standard of price. It's the exact same thing for flower farming. So get in touch with other flower farmers or associations of cut flowers and ask for prices to be sure that you get the right price per stem, that your work is valued. Also, sometimes when you begin, you're like, it's not good enough, I'll just sell it for less. But no, you have to like really ask for the right price. Okay. And as for the yield per plants, that's something that I've been doing for many years with trials and errors and, making it more and more efficient. And so if you're interested to know more about yield per plant, just check out the cheat sheet. You can download it. It's for free. Check it out.
So for harvesting, post-harvest, what is the difference between flowers and vegetables? What are the requirements that you would need?
Yeah. So for harvest, the thing that's a lot different is that we always harvest in water. So flowers, they have to be hydrated at all the time. So when we harvest, we prepare the cart with the clean buckets and clean, fresh water. That's super important for the vase life. If you harvest in dirty buckets with the water that's too sometimes some farms have water that comes from the city and sometimes there's too much chlorine in it. So you have to check the water for the flowers because it's really their kind of food there. It's their like lifeline for the rest of the day. So we manage a lot of buckets. We wash also a lot of buckets that needs to be added into the scheduled time weekly. Washing buckets, that's a big task for us. So when we harvest, we take the buckets, we go out in the field with the cart, we harvest, we bunch right away, and we put things in buckets, and we make sure not to let the cut flowers in the direct sun. So either we put the cart somewhere in the shade, or sometimes in the greenhouse in the front. It's like a bit shaded in the front, so that makes it, but never in the sun. So either you take back in the barn right away, or you find a spot on the farm that's shaded. And then after that, we use a lot of elastics to make the bunches, so that's kind of the same. And we bring back the things in the barn, and then we count. So we have inventories, just as the vegetables. So we know what we have, what needs to go, and what can stay in the fridge. We do bouquet once a week, only once, and then everything goes to delivery the next day. One thing is that's good to know is that we never cut the same day that we sell. So flowers need to be rehydrated after being cut. It's quite a shock for them. So they need to drink a bit of water and then get back that firmness. So always cut at least 24 hours before selling your flowers. After that, for storing the flowers, we have a cold room, a big walk-in cold room that's set at 5 degrees. So actually it's between 4 and 6, so it just goes between that. And it's it's a bit more humid than in the veggie cold room, but we don't really manage that a lot because there's a lot of buckets with water, and that water makes humidity already. And we have like a fan blowing to like turn the air around. We normally store flowers for let's say between 7 to 15 days regarding different varieties. But we gather, we harvest a lot. We gather things in the cold room for us to have enough to the bouquet, and then it goes out. It's not like we harvest, make bouquet, and it goes out. Right. It's like we keep a lot of things in the cold room, and every week there's a lot of things going out.
Do you think it'd be possible to use the same cold room that I use for vegetables, but also for flowers?
So the flowers, many flowers are sensitive to ethylene. That's like a gas that's put out by vegetables and mostly fruits, but vegetables also. That makes the vase life decrease really fast.
Interesting.
So I've seen some veggie flowers use the same cold room, and some have like a smaller one, maybe with a cool butt, separated from the veggies for the flowers.
Okay.
So there's both. I would suggest that you really maybe research if can you like do a separate room in the same cold room, or maybe
isolated a little bit. Okay.
Alternative solutions.
Right.
Yeah, but ethylene is a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah. So how would you implement flowers into your sales adventure? Like, would you add it to your CSA? Would you make your own CSA? How do you go about approaching restaurants, for instance? In our case, ours is directed at restaurants. So what would be your advice for the sales side?
So again, I don't have the magic answer, and every farm is different.
Right.
Really, it's really like, first of all, I think before planting, seeding anything, you have to ask yourself where you want to sell those flowers. Do you want to just add some beauty options for your already there vegetable client, or do you want to be like half vegetable, half flower farmer? Because both are good. There's no right or wrong answer. It's really, where do you see yourself? Like, where is that going, that flower thing? Are you committed to it, or is it just like a fun thing?
Right.
And from there, CSA is great. You could do either a separate CSA and really build up your flower farm side, or you could just propose as an option to your already CSA client. Do you want to add a flower CSA to your subscriptions for blah, blah, blah amount of money? You could also sell to chefs. You could go sell to farmers market with your vegetable produce and add some buckets of flowers. Check the prices again. Don't sell too low, but there's no right or wrong answer. It's really with your system in place. What do you want? Do you like CSA or do you don't like CSA? Do you like to speak to people at farmers market, or do you like to sell big quantities that you would like to sell to florists, and then they do the speech to the client?
Right.
So everything's possible. You just have to keep in mind that flowers really it's taking time as much as the vegetables. You have to be committed, and you have to be aware that it's all about beauty. So you don't eat the flowers, people buy them because they just want to look at them. They don't need them. So you have to make sure you share that beauty either with pictures, with a video, or at the market. Make sure you wrap them in a nice packet, craft paper, and put your stamps. Be professional about it. Don't just throw flowers there, and just
take pride in it.
Yeah. And be, hands in hands with flower farmers. You're part of this dynamic now.
So get involved as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So that would be my recommendation.
Great advice. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you.
It was great. Your questions were amazing. I think it helped a lot of people watching this. And if you're watching, I think you're interested in flower farming. I invite you to check out my online course. The subscriptions only happen twice a year, so be sure to check it out to be the first one that knows when it comes out.